So if you're self-employed and you're trying to buy a new house and sell your current house at the exact same time right now in Henrico County or the Greater Richmond area, you're probably terrified that you're going to end up homeless. Am I right? See, it's the number one fear that I hear from business owners every single week. You look at the market, you see that homes in Short Pump are selling in 10 days, and you think, if my house sells that fast, where am I going to live? What if the buyer backs out at the last minute and leaves me stranded? What if my new mortgage falls through because my business income fluctuates from month to month? You feel like you have to have everything perfectly lined up, or the whole thing is going to fall apart like a house of cards. And honestly, if you do it the way that most people try to do it, it probably will fall apart. You can't just put a sign in your yard and hope and pray that everything works well. Hope is not a strategy when your family's living situation is on the line. You need a rock solid plan that protects your equity and your peace of mind. So it doesn't have to be the way that you think it's going to be. Hey friends, I'm Sonali Hutson. I'm your Christian real estate agent right here in the Greater Richmond area. I help self-employed Christians coordinate buying and selling simultaneously without the stress, the chaos, and the homelessness that sometimes goes along with a dual transaction. I help you upgrade your home and your lifestyle using my Home Ownership God's Way blueprint. We don't rush, we don't guess, and we definitely do not move in fear. We get the facts straight and we make decisions with wisdom and peace. If that sounds exactly like what you need, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now, because we got a lot to talk about today, honey, okay? So let's talk about what is actually happening in the Henrico County market right now, because the market is shifting. And if you're trying to buy and sell at the same time, you need to know the facts. As of July 2026, the median sales price in Henrico County is $421,000. That's up almost 4% from last year. But here's the crazy part. The inventory of homes for sale is actually up 14%. That means we have over 1,100 active listings right now in Henrico County. For the first time in a couple of years, buyers actually have options. You have some breathing room. You don't have to make a decision in 5 minutes, but don't get too comfortable, because we still only have about 2.5 months of supply here in Henrico County, which means it's still a seller's market overall. The power dynamic is shifting slightly, but sellers still hold the cards in the most desirable neighborhoods. So friends, how do you navigate this when you are self-employed? You have a business to run. You cannot be stressed out all day wondering if your family's going to have a place to sleep next month. And the very first thing you have to do is get your financing completely locked down before you even think about putting your house on the market, okay? Listen, when you are self-employed, getting a mortgage is not as simple as just handing the lender a W-2 and letting them check your credit report. Lenders are going to scrutinize your tax returns, your profit and loss statements, your bank statements. They're going to want to see consistency. They're going to want to see that your business is stable and that your income is reliable. You're going to need to know exactly how much house you can afford based on your business income, not your gross revenue. So this is something that we have to talk about before we start looking for homes, so that you know exactly where you stand. See, I see so many business owners make the mistake of assuming that they can afford a certain price point because their business is doing well. But then they forget that they write off 60, 70, 80, 90% of their expenses on their taxes. That's going to lower your taxable income, which lowers the amount of mortgage that you can actually qualify for. It's a harsh reality for a lot of entrepreneurs. Trust me, guys, I am speaking to the choir, and that's why I'm constantly making content for self-employed home buyers. You need to work with a lender and a realtor who actually understands self-employed income. You need someone who knows how to read a Schedule C and who can advocate for you with the underwriters. And you need to do this months in advance. See, listen, if you've ever had a lender tell you no because of how your taxes were filed, I can tell you personally how bad that sucks. Go ahead and put a comment below, because I know how frustrating that can be. It is a common roadblock for many self-employed home buyers, but it's one that we can strategically overcome when you have the right people and your faith in place. Now, once your financing is solid, we have to look at the equity in your current home if you're a homeowner. Most people who are buying and selling at the same time need the equity from their current house to use as the down payment for the new house. That means we have to time the closing of both houses perfectly. We want them to close on the exact same day, or at least within a day or two of each other. That way, the money from your sale transfers directly to your new purchase, and you only have to move once. You pack up the truck in the morning, sign the papers for your old house, sign the papers for your new house, and unload the truck in the afternoon. That is the dream scenario. And I know it sounds a little bit far-fetched, but guys, I tell you, it's entirely possible when you have an expert like myself and my team coordinating your timeline. We actually closed on my sister's forever home today. And guess what? We did everything with excellence. But here's the thing. What if you find the perfect house and your current house has not sold yet? See, this is where people start to panic. If you're selling in Verona right now, the median price is around $312,000 and homes are taking about 28 days to sell. But if you're buying in Glen Allen or Short Pump, homes are flying off the market in 10 to 13 days. That is a huge timing gap. It feels like you're trying to catch a moving train while standing still. You can't just assume the timing is going to magically align. So this is where a lot of agents are going to tell you to make an offer contingent on the sale of your home. But let me tell you the truth. In a competitive market like in Short Pump or Glen Allen, where homes are getting multiple offers, y'all listen, a seller is not going to accept an offer that is contingent upon you selling your house that's not even under contract and sometimes not even on the market yet. I can't tell you how many sellers I have to convince to put their house on the market before we start having to shop for their home, okay? A lot of sellers are not going to want to take that risk. They want a sure thing. They want a buyer who can close without any strings attached. So what do? How do you compete with buyers who don't have the home sale contingency? See, friends, this is exactly why we created the Home Ownership God's Way Blueprint. We do not just cross our fingers and hope for the best. We create a strategic plan. One option that we can talk about is a bridge loan. A bridge loan is a short-term loan that lets you borrow against the equity in your current home so you can make a strong, non-contingent offer on the new home. It bridges the gap between trying to buy the new house and selling the old one. Now, once your old home sells, you use the proceeds to pay off the bridge loan. It's going to take the pressure off of you and it allows you to buy before you sell. It gives you the power of a cash buyer, essentially, when you decide to use a bridge loan. Now, a bridge loan does come with higher interest rates, but that is at a shorter term. Now, another option is to negotiate what we call a rent-back agreement. And this is actually what we did for my sister. This is one of my absolute favorite strategies for my sellers. We're going to list your house. We're going to find you a strong buyer for your house. And we're going to negotiate a deal where the buyer allows you to rent the house back from them for 30 to 60 days after closing. This is going to give you the cash from the sale in your pocket immediately. And it's going to give you up to 2 months to find your new home and get it closed without having to move into a rental or a hotel in the meantime. You get to stay in your own home, sleep in your own bed, and shop for your new house with cash in hand. If you haven't heard of a rent-back agreement, I'm telling you, we closed on my sister's house today and it worked perfectly. They sold their first home and now they bought their new construction home today and they're moving in before the deadline, okay? So a rent-back can be a total game changer. So if you're not familiar, comment below and I'll give you some more information. Now listen, if you're thinking about moving to the West End, you're going to want to check out my video on Short Pump versus Midlothian because I break down exactly what you get for your money in both areas and I think it's going to surprise you. And I'm going to link it right here on the screen, so make sure you check that out. Now guys, let's talk about preparing your house to sell because this is another area where self-employed people get completely overwhelmed. You do not have time to manage contractors and painters and landscapers and all the things, okay? You're running a business, you're managing your clients, you're handling payroll, you're dealing with your family, you're dealing with your church obligations. The last thing you need is another full-time job managing a home renovation project. But if you want to get top dollar for your house, especially if you're in an area where homes are sitting a little longer, like Eastern Henrico, your house has to look impeccable. It has to look better than the competition. Buyers are picky right now, and they normally want a move-in ready home. A lot of people do not want to deal with a renovation unless they have to. And here's the good news, guys. When you work with me and my team, we handle all of that for you. I have a team of trusted professionals who can come in and get your house ready for the market quickly and efficiently. We focus on the things that actually bring a return on your investment. We're not doing major renovations that take months and cost tens of thousands of dollars. We're doing strategic updates, fresh paint and neutral colors, professional staging to make the rooms look bigger, and incredible photography. Your house needs to look like a model home online because that's where the buyers are. If the photos do not look amazing, people are never going to even want to step foot in your house to see it in person. Now, speaking of buyers, you need to understand exactly who is buying your house. If you are selling a starter home in Verona, your buyer is probably a first-time home buyer. They might be using a down payment assistance program or an FHA loan or even a VA loan. Those loans have strict appraisal requirements. The appraiser is going to look for peeling paint, broken windows, roof issues, and safety hazards. Your house has to meet certain condition standards or the loan is not going to get approved. So what we're going to have to do is make sure that your house is ready to pass those appraisals before we even list your house so that we don't run into surprises 2 weeks before closing. See guys, we're going to fix the little things up front so that they don't become big things later on. The reality is every day people just like you reach out to me about coordinating this entire process for them because y'all, they don't want to be bothered. They don't have the time. They want to know how to upgrade their lifestyle without risking their family stability. They want to know how to navigate the crazy real estate market while still running their business, managing their family, handling their ministry. And that's exactly what we do at Hutson Realty Group. We take the fear out of the process. We look at the data, we look at your specific financial situation, and we create a clear step-by-step path forward. We anticipate the roadblocks and we build a plan to help get around them. We take the burden off of your shoulders so you can focus on your business and on your family. So friends, if you're feeling overwhelmed by all of this, I know this is a lot of information, and guess what? I talk fast too, right? I want you to grab my free home ownership God's Way blueprint. It's going to walk you through exactly how we approach this process with wisdom and peace. It shows you how to prepare, how to plan, and how to execute a seamless move. You can find the link to download my home ownership God's Way blueprint in the description box below. It is completely free, and it's going to give you so much clarity on what your next steps should be. Friends, I promise you it's going to bless you. It is the exact system I use with my clients every single day to help them get the results that they need, okay? If you're ready to stop stressing and start planning, guys, let's talk. One simple conversation can make things so much clearer for you. You can book a free consultation with me using the link in the description, or you can just text me directly. My number is 757-837-0096. We'll sit down, look at your business, look at your current home, and figure out exactly how to get you into the home that you really want, the one that you have been praying for, that you know the Lord has put in place for you. We're gonna build a timeline that works for you and your family, and we're gonna make sure you are protected every single step of the way. Guys, listen, thank you so much for watching my channel. We just hit 1,000 subscribers, and I cannot be more excited. Your support absolutely means the world to me. I love that you guys feel educated, empowered, inspired, and encouraged every time I put out a video. Thank you so much for all of the feedback and for reaching out. I really, really, really greatly appreciate it. Thank you so, so much, guys. And I will see you in the next video. God bless you.